Well, it is not every day that a music legend like Dolly Parton shows up in town, but yesterday she graced the stage of the historic Lyric Theater in Lexington, where artists like B.B. King and Tina Turner have performed. Dolly did sing, but she was also here to celebrate her Imagination Library in Kentucky. And we were the only station granted a one-on-one interview with the legend that is Dolly.
I have chased after rainbows, I've captured one or two. I've reached for the stars and I have even held a few.
At 78 years young, Dolly Parton is still dreaming.
Well, I can't stop. I've dreamed myself into a corner. And then you got to live up to all that, because every dream I have, spawns some other dream from that.
I don't know what to think.
The music legend seems to never slow down and always have a project in the pipeline.
I have done a whole album, and I'm doing a docuseries with my family, the Smoky Mountain DNA, and that's really tracing my family's history. All my people were musical all the way back as far as anybody can remember.
Known worldwide for her music, what brought Dolly to Lexington was a project deeply personal to her, the Imagination Library. It is a program she started in 1995 in honor of her father, who couldn't read or write. It gifts books to children from birth to age 5.
Because I do believe that children are most impressionable in their very young years. And I thought, well, this would be a wonderful way to get, teach kids to love books and to learn to read and to love to read.
In Kentucky, every child now has access to the Imagination Library. To date, out of the more than 250 million books shipped out, 6 million of those have been delivered here in the state.
In my coat of many colors, Mama made for me.
While in town, Dolly presented the first family with one of her own and perhaps most favorite books, titled after a song synonymous with Dolly, Coat of Many Colors.
It's really a great book, and a lot of teachers teach out of it in class because it deals with bullying and love of family, acceptance, and the fact that it's okay to be different. Everybody's not alike.
Dolly has built a career on being her own person, and as more children in Kentucky enroll in her Imagination Library, Miss Dolly has a direct message for them.
Little Engine That Could is the first book we give away, because that was a favorite book of mine when I was little, and I always say, read that one, because I'm grown up now and I'm a little engine that did. So just keep reading, keep studying.
Good advice for all of us, Dolly. Dolly has a new book coming out this fall, this time a cookbook called Good Lookin' Cooking. It's available September 17th. And for more of our coverage on Dolly in Lexington and how to enroll your child in the Imagination Library, look for our stories online and inside the WKYT News app.
Well, congratulations on that interview and the great stories that you put together and shared. They've been really nice the last couple of days. I'm not sure they believe me around here when I was telling them that I interviewed Dolly 25 years ago at Dollywood.
A little bit earlier, I go back to, like I said, Baby I'm Burning, The Seeker, Love's Like a Butterfly.
You don't look that old.
I'm talking about those old songs, Jolene and Here You Come Again and all that. Back in 1999, Dolly was already deciding to expand the Imagination Library, and they were getting ready for the holiday season at Dollywood when we were invited down. She hasn't changed.
Absolutely, she has not. She looks the exact same.
Just amazing.